Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the demo of Starbirds, where last episode we were struggling getting some water deliveries here, and I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, because that shouldn't be an issue. We'll look into that here in a moment, but I do want to say I was looking through the achievements for the demo version here, and I believe this to be the final level included in the demo version. So I don't expect this series to be more than like 5 episodes because there's just not a lot of content in the demo. So that's definitely just a bit of a disclaimer here. But I want to hop in here to this asteroid because we need to take a look at what's going on here. So this landing pad is only receiving carbon at this point, which is odd. Can landing pads only receive one type of resource? I don't know. We could try bringing in an additional landing pad here, and then connecting that over this way. And then hopping back out to the map, and we would want to then hop in here, have a different launch pad. Okay, where's our water going in here? Our water is coming in from here. Okay, do we have access to another launch pad here? We do not. So this launch pad claims to be outputting carbon and water. But we are not getting carbon here. And you can see all of these ships are they're all currently stalled. I'm wondering if the issue here is, in fact, that we just didn't have water going at first. So if that's the case, then what we would need to do is, well, we would need to get rid of, we wouldn't need to get rid of that pad. I would just bring this over to our space station for now. Let some of these clear their way out. Like that. And then I want to hop in here while that's happening. And I want to get rid of one of these pads. And I think it's this one. Yeah, this one's not bringing in anything. So let's just get rid of this one so that we don't have to worry about it. Now, if we reconnect this over here, we see that rocket going over, and now it's stuck here again. So it's in queue. Interesting. Let's try reconnecting that. Yeah, we got to get water here. And we're not receiving water. Interesting. Well, in that case, we need a different asteroid to get the water from then. So, we're going to need to check out over here. Let's discover this asteroid. Do we have water here? No. What about up over here? Yes, we have water here. So let's enter this asteroid for now. And let's put that there. All we should need here, hypothetically, is an extractor that goes up to here. And then we would head back out to the map. That's exclusively outputting water at this time. And then I'd like that to come in. Well, we're going to need an additional landing pad here. So let's go in here first, and let's reroute our water that is going here to instead go here. So this is going to be outputting only carbon at this point. The only input for this should be carbon. And that might update eventually. Okay, so that's all fine. This should only be outputting carbon now. So that goes right up over here. And then this water is going to need to come to a different landing pad, perhaps. So let's see. We do have access to... Just thinking here about how we want to do this. So this one here, this chemical lab, is going to be the one that needs the water, right? So that basically means that we need to rebuild the landing pad over here, connect this here, and that's going to be exclusively water. So that's going to be this connection here. Kind of a little messy. but let's let that go. So that's water rocketing over here now. And the question is this running now? Yes, it is. We just got fertilizer. Fantastic. So now we've got that fertilizer flowing in. We are producing the fertilizer. So I guess these can only input one on the landing pad, one resource. That's good to know. I will definitely change how I'm planning this in the future based on that knowledge. It's interesting, though, because it indicated that it was outputting multiple resources, but only one resource ended up actually coming in here. Now, we probably need to get more water produced over here. Actually, we definitely need to get more water produced over here. So let's put in 1. There we go. 2. And we can do a 3rd probably right about there. Oh, yeah. Cool. So that's now going to be exporting water at full speed. Now we definitely need some credits here. Let's work on... We're producing sulfur, but we're not currently delivering sulfur. We can accept that, but we're not going to get it immediately. And I want to get some credits flowing in here. We have this new supply quest here as well. That seems fine. And we'll just work on that. Expedition completed. Okay. Noted. So yeah, that was the demo completed at this point. So, not in the demo, electricity, which is, I think, going to add a lot of depth to this game, having to have, like, certain amounts of electricity production and things like that. Further star systems, new surface challenges, more buildings, and building upgrades. Interesting. So if we continue playing, does this bring us back to this situation? Yes, it does. We can do main menu or stay here. Okay. So at this point, it becomes basically a score attack game, and let's hop back to the main menu and look at our level selection here. So we've got, yeah, we can see there's all of that stuff over there, not in demo. We can't scroll over all the way, but yeah, so we can see there's hatched, a strange discovery, a little detour. This thing likes to, like, slowly pan back towards this star over here. Okay, so this is just a Sublana star system, right? And at this point, like I said, it becomes a bit of a score game where you just try to maximize your score. I'm not particularly interested in doing that as of right now. That's something that we may do in the full version of the game, but I don't really see a point in doing that here. So in that case, we're kind of done with the demo already. I didn't expect to finish it quite this quickly. I'm not terribly surprised that it was short. I mean, it's a demo, right? Demos are usually like an hour or two of gameplay tops, so it's not terribly surprising that we're wrapping this up already, but that was definitely an interesting little game. My main concern with it is that it's, at least as presented here, a bit on the simplistic side. We definitely found in that last sector that we were able to, if we continue this, we found in this last sector that we were able to run into some issues with this asteroid being a little bit oversaturated because we couldn't get an additional launch pad going here. It seems like the launch pad will happily send multiple things to the station, but in terms of exporting to another asteroid, we need to be singular focus, which does mean that the design of these asteroids is going to be fairly constrained, right? So that's definitely interesting, and the addition of electricity and building upgrades and more complicated production paths, I think will definitely add a lot of complexities to this game that don't appear to exist in the demo as of right now. But based on what I've seen here, there's definitely some interesting things here. It's really, really more of a puzzle game than a strategy game. No doubt about that. That's fine. We can definitely work with that. So I'm definitely interested in playing more Starbirds in the future. And the question is, do I want to keep rambling for another 15 minutes here? Or do we want to just wrap this up and be like, well, we knew this was going to be very short. I mean, we did. We did definitely know it was going to be very short. No doubt about that. One thing that I would personally like, and I know that this is supposed to be like a cozy sort of game, right? It's not supposed to be like a high stress sort of thing. But one thing that I would personally like to see, and maybe electricity does this, is some sort of an upkeep cost for these. Because once you get this extractor built, it just works forever, as it is right now. If there was an upkeep cost, then you could get yourself into a situation where it kind of spirals out of control, and that would definitely create a potential failure state. As of right now, I don't feel like there really is a failure state, but like I said, maybe electricity would actually do that. Because if you have to power these, and you don't have enough power, maybe you could have some sort of a cascading failure. I don't know. It's more of a puzzle game, so that sort of failure state is not really necessarily an expectation. But honestly, I don't really have too much else to say about it. I think it's a cool little game. It's definitely a demo, no doubt about that. There's some potential here, and I'm interested in seeing how this plays out in the full version. But the full version isn't going to be out until, let's see, as of the day I'm recording this, it's August 25th. And if we go to the store page here, the Starbirds demo released a while ago, but I'm looking for the full game here. The Steam page doesn't have a release date on it other than 2025. Okay, so I thought I read in the Discord that it was going to be releasing in like September? Oh, early access release date announcement. Okay, yeah. September 4th, it will launch into early access. Okay. Well, for the time being, we've got a space to fill. And that's definitely interesting. I have some ideas for what I want to fill with it, and that'll be fine. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and put an end to this and be like, that was a fun little game, and we will come back to this when it is more complete. I mean, this demo, honestly, this demo didn't feel incomplete. There's a lot of it that feels quite good. Like the way that the trails work in this game, that feels quite good, actually. So it feels pretty polished. It doesn't feel buggy. It doesn't feel incomplete feature-wise. It feels incomplete content-wise. And that's the point of a demo. But yeah, I think at this point, let's put an end to this one, and we will come back to this when the game is more properly out. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.